How's it going, lads? Big man Santa Oda just released us with chapter 1070 of One Piece, and it was magnificent. Well, I don't know, is this the last chapter of the year? I don't know. But it was a fantastic way to end off the year if it was. It was great. It was jam-packed with some really wacky-ass action. We got a giant Pac-Man Luffy who was like... We got fucking slingshot goggles Luffy. We got loads of different stuff, and we also got a we get a continued Mads flashback. And I just wanted to point out while we're looking at this, I'm gonna get it back up to make sure I'm 100%. But if we look at this, lads, boys, Queen actually looks the best out of this group, and how the times have changed. Caesar doesn't look too bad. It looks like people are saying it's Stussy that's in that photo there, which makes sense. I don't know if it is. I think it'd be funny if it was someone we don't know. Imagine if it was like Luffy's mother or some shit. Oh no, it could be not Sora, would it? No, I don't think so. But it's a pretty interesting squad, not gonna lie to you. Most of the fight is Luffy versus Rob Lucci, but it was pretty solid stuff, I'm not gonna lie. And absolutely, this fight, okay, can we talk about this fight for a second? I've been finding it very difficult to sort of figure out Gear 5th, alright? I have been finding it extraordinarily difficult, okay? Because to me, Gear 5th is really like out of this world crazy, right? You get Luffy twirling around, bouncing up and down, fucking going giant, munching all the time, right? He's doing all this stuff. And I'm sitting there like, this is in black and white, I can't tell what's going on. So, but I found that Oda's getting a little clearer with how he draws Gear 5th. It's more easier to tell what's going on. I can tell the movements that he's doing, and he's making them bigger panels so they're easier to see. Because that is my biggest problem with these chapters, is they are jam-packed and they're really, really fun. But Gear 5th is hard to sort of see. You know what I mean? The sort of fighting style, it's very difficult for me to keep an eye on what's going on. I don't know how the movements are done or whatever. Sometimes I miss things because I'm like, well, I can't see that. It's so small. Or it's like, I thought this was like an arm or something, but it was a face. And I'm, alright. So it's pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really enjoying this though, because it seems to be he's getting the hang of it, and it's a really, really sick chapter. We also get some callbacks to Sabaody with, you know, Battle Axe as he calls them and all this. We're getting the Sabaody callbacks, which really cool. But I think my Logtown prayer might not be coming true. But you know what? We move on. We're getting Elbaf. We've confirmed Elbaf, so that's all I'm happy about. This happened a few chapters ago, I know, but I'm just gonna be happy now as it is. And we get more stuff on Devil Fruits. They talk about a thing called Green Blood, which I don't know too much about. But that's basically how he does Paramecia and Logia Fruits, how he sort of works with them. We don't get too much details. He's basically saying this as the Seraphim, you know, sorted out. Which, by the way, can we just point out that these Marines are getting... I know the are getting love beamed by a child. Alright? That's just weird. That's very fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's like, oh well, the power of the fruit overwhelms, but you didn't have to put the love hearts there. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit weird. But what can I say? You gotta move on. Can't think too much about it, right? Again, the giant Pac-Man Luffy was really cool. And alright, I know I've pointed this out before and I've said it many times, but it just looks like they're fighting on the Fusion Gate card, on the Fusion Gate Yu-Gi-Oh card. Alright, and I'm not much of a Yu-Gi-Oh guy, but it just, every time I read a chapter, I'm like, it looks like they're fighting on the Yu-Gi-Oh Fusion Gate card. That's really all I'm looking at right now. You know what I mean? And funny enough, I didn't notice this before, because I thought it was just him stretching, but he does actually go giant to do the Pac-Man thing. And so when he gets into the car, as we see here, he's actually drained, the old man drained form. And funny enough, I don't know if he did this against Kaido, but he's doing it now where he's sticking his tongue out like Vegapunk. So is this a thing where Vegapunk overused an ability and now he constantly has his tongue sticking out? It'd be interesting to see what happened here. You know, what the thing is there. And he doesn't actually have his tongue sticking out in the Mads photo. I just realized that. So maybe that is a thing, because both of these happen in the same chapter. Be interesting if that was a thing that they stick with for a while, you know? We actually get a few different things here. He literally, right? Luffy literally stretches Lucci's entire organs. Like, imagine that shit, bro. It's so clean. But he also, alright, we're gonna talk about this real quick. I don't want to talk too much about it. I might make a whole video about it at some point. But Vegapunk talks about the idea, right? That he doesn't know if the zones he creates can awaken. And the fact that we got a point where Momonosuke can basically do what Kaido does confirms that Kaido is not awakened. Now, I have said that I kind of like that idea because he gave up on chasing his dreams, or he isn't chasing his dreams anymore, so it kind of makes sense. But it's still a little disappointing to that degree, you know what I mean? You know, it's weird to have Lucci be awakened but not Kaido. But hey, I'll get used to it as time goes on, you know what I mean? Anyway, the anime is about to pump up with that stuff. We got the Nico Robin stuff, and I actually do want to talk about that for a bit. So it turns out that's not hockey, and it's just like, it's basically just like the form turns the skin that way, and it's not hockey. Which, you know what? I'm a little disappointed. I wanted it to be hockey so she could be like top 30 in the verse and do like clutch on the Yonkos and fucking wreck their shit. But you know what? We take what we can get. You know what? We take what we can get. I'm not gonna complain. It is how it is, right? It is how it is. But I think the design is really stellar. I love the coloration of the design in the anime. I love how it's portrayed as like this super demonic form. And I know the manga did it as well, but I think the anime did a really good job. I hope we get a Bounty Rush unit at some point. Because honestly, I've just sort of, at this point, I've downgraded my mobile games to like 3 games. To like 3 of them now. So we got Bounty Rush, Legends. I've started playing Legends again, and now I've kind of Pokemon Masters the odd bit. I don't know. I'm kind of off and on with that because the daily missions are a bit weird. So because sometimes the stamina shit doesn't work, but I don't know. Anyway, back onto One Piece, lads. All right. My goat. I don't know. I've come to love Kizaru a lot more in recent years, just because I have this depiction of him actually being like a Yonko level commander, and he's like a Yonko level character, and he just has these 2 underlings that are like pretty shit. Like Fujitora and Green Bull are just like, oh yeah, we're admirals, but we're like the shit off count admirals. All the like Yonko level admirals just fucked off, either got promoted or left. So Kizaru's just there, like has the run of the place. You know, and I think that made me love him even more, to be honest. And if we see here, it looks like he's gonna fight Luffy, which I've talked about this before, but I am so excited for this. You have no idea. Kizaru versus Luffy is going to be one of the funnest fights in the entire series, and I cannot wait. This arc is going to end so well, and Kuma could show up at any point. Like, Kuma hasn't shown up at this point. So we know Bonnie's going to be put in danger. And actually, this is perfect, right? So Luffy and Kizaru are fighting, and maybe he takes the opportunity to try and take out Bonnie. And then Kuma pops in, takes his arm, fucking flings him around the place, or shocks him, like shocks his entire body with like a hockey-infused version of that, and completely takes out Kizaru. Imagine that shit. Be so good, and I am so excited to see where they go with this. This is phenomenal, man. What a Christmas chapter. I'm so happy about it, man. You know what I mean? It's so exciting, and I'm really hyped up for this. Yeah, it's crazy shit. I like the Seraphim a lot. I think they're really cool units. I hope they grow before the end of the story, because I want to see what their max capacity is, and that's going to push the verse even higher. We actually get a full shot of Mihawk, or Baby Hawk. Where is he? He's somewhere in this chapter. I'm trying to look for him again. Yeah, here we go. And dude, Mihawk has got drip since day one. All right, let's just tell it is. Mihawk has this one like shirt and jeans setup, but it works so well. It's like the public safety. It's like a fancier version of the Chainsaw Man's public safety division with no like jacket. But it's really clean looking, and I have to say it's really cool. But Oda is really pushing up right now for this big fight between that man and this man he talked about in his message. And I didn't make a video on that for a few reasons. I don't know. As I said, I want it to be a few different things. And I'm hoping he has a bunch of bombastic fights against characters we've wanted for a while, like this Kizaru versus Luffy fight, or this, or for example, Sabo versus Akainu, Zoro versus Mihawk, or Shanks versus Blackbeard. So it leaves us guessing at the end of the year which one of these fights he was talking about. Of course, the majority of people will say Shanks versus Blackbeard, but we'll have options to go over. And I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to see where that goes. I don't know about you, but I am over the moon about that stuff. But with that being said, let me know what you guys thought about this chapter down in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more content from me. And with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Have a fantastic Christmas, and ho ho ho!